Welcome to another episode of Bushy Headboy. I'm Coach Mooch,
I'm Bushy Headboy.
a.k.a. who?
Jacob Williams. I forgot about that.
Hey, welcome to another episode. Make sure you like, share, comment. Please subscribe as well. As we on Bushy Head give you parent tips, family adventures, and we add kid-friendly conversation, encouraging youth and youth development, share experience for kids and development and parents. Today is a special guest, y'all. This is my brother. I've been knowing P since about 1997. Anthony Perry is the coach of 15U Mokan EYBL Peace Jam winner, as well as 15U Coach of the Year. And we want to say welcome and thank you, Coach Perry. And starting, Coach Perry, what does it mean that you won that 15U Coach of the Year award?
It means a lot. I think it means more that we were able to do it for the kids. Just the commitment, knowing, and obviously you being a part of the program at some point in time during your basketball career as well, knowing what it takes to play for Mokan, right? And all the work that we put the kids through at the beginning of our seasons, and just to see those guys persevere through a tough EYBL session, whether it be session 1, 2, 3, or 4, see those guys persevere through that and come together and culminate the season with a win was great to see those guys experience that.
Good job.
Okay.
Go, Jake.
All right. Coach, when did you first fall in love with basketball?
I first fell in love with basketball, I would probably say around 3rd or 4th grade. When I had an aunt of mine that taught me, how to play basketball, coming up as a youngster, having the mentorship of a cousin of mine, Jonathan Binky Triplett, as well as Rodney Perry. Kind of watching those guys at the high school level, sneaking in the gym, watching those guys play, seeing how fun it was, and seeing the impact that they were making on our community, kind of drove me to want to be like those guys, right? And so coming up, seeing those guys at that local, junior highs, high schools, going on to our junior college that we had in Fort Smith, Arkansas, which was West Ark. Watching those guys compete at that level kind of gave me the drive to want to be like them.
Okay, that was a good one. Yeah.
Go, Jacob.
Okay, it's gotta be obvious. Who was your favorite player growing up?
My favorite player growing up was a guy by the name of Isaiah Thomas. And I liked Isaiah Thomas so much because he was one of the small guards, right? I was a small guard coming up and just watching what, he was able to do and how he was able to impact the game from the small size that he was. I really enjoyed watching him play in Indiana, and when it went on and what he did at Detroit was kind of an inspiration to me. So he was one of my favorite players growing up. Loved to watch him play and compete.
I thought you were going to say Michael.
Michael Jordan was later on in life, but Isaiah did a lot of things that people didn't expect the guys to do at his size.
Isaiah, you know where Isaiah from, right, Jacob?
Detroit.
He played for Detroit, but he's from actually my home, your dad's hometown, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Right. Y'all used to play together. Yeah.
No, boy, Isaiah way older than me. Yeah, I ain't that old. But go ahead, next question, son.
Okay. If you were a coach, a player my age, what are the 3 most important skills I should work on every day?
I would say the 3 most important skills that you should work on for a kid your age. I would say 1 being your technical skills, right? Your fundamental stuff. Your ball handling, your shooting form, your passing, decision making, and things of that nature. 2, I would say your athleticism, right? So I think a lot of kids your age take flexibility for granted, right? So being flexible, stretching, developing athleticism in that sense. body movements, right? How your body movements, not worry so much about just playing one particular sport, but playing multiple sports. So you're working on different muscle groups, right? So just learning how to develop as an overall athlete, right? And then the next thing I would say would be decision making. Right, putting yourself in situations where you can read defenses, you can react and respond in game-like situations.
So like I'm playing basketball and football, and so I started practice on Monday, and I've been doing it for like months now, or weeks. The
couple weeks now.
Couple weeks.
Football.
And we're doing bear crawlers, and we full pads.
Full pads already in football? What are you guys doing out there on the football field? What type of body movements are you doing? Are they teaching you how to block and how to run routes?
We're doing tackling, running, and bear crawlers. Oh, tackling, and how our defense works.
For sure. Are you playing football and basketball at the same time, or you're doing one? You're doing just football only right now?
Well, we just finished up, Pete, with basketball. This last weekend was basketball, and so now he'll go right into football.
And we had 2 games. I was so tired, I had to take me a nap.
Which one's your favorite sport?
Kind of both,
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was dead tired too.
Played a lot of games, man.
Yep.
So so you're going to the 5th grade, right?
6?
No, I'm going to the 6th.
6, going to 6th grade. Okay, and you're tackle football.
Yes.
Who do you play for?
I played for my old coach in soccer and flag.
Okay, so this is your first time playing. This is your first year playing tackle football.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, you're kind of lagging.
No, it's your turn. Go.
Oh.
Next question. I got my questions.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What's the biggest mistake young basketball players make?
The biggest mistake young basketball players make? That's a good question. I would say as they journey through the process of developing as a basketball player or an athlete, but since speaking specifically about basketball, I would say they fall to the trap of wanting to win as opposed to wanting to develop. Those are 2 different things, right? Developing, you're on a journey to continue to improve, whatever that may be. That now there may be some situations where you may lose, you may fail, you may not win very much at all. But long as you're developing and moving forward, that's a great thing. But some people fall into the trap of believing that just because they're winning a lot, that they're actually developing. So just make sure that, you keep the main thing as far as development, and the wins will come later on in life.
Okay.
Next question.
Yeah. What makes someone stand out besides scoring?
I would say what makes players stand out besides scoring would be how you impact the game on the defensive end. Yeah, I know Coach Mooch knew I was going to say that one. There's only one basketball, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do as far as, defensively that can help impact winning, help stand out individually and help your team. So taking the approach to be defensive minded, right? Take on the responsibility of guarding your own guy and whatever system that you're in, whether it be a man system or a zone system, making an impact on the defensive side of the basketball will kind of help a player stand out.
Next one, bud.
Dad, you haven't asked your questions.
Next one. Just go to your next one, man.
How do you help players stay confident after they have a bad game?
That's a great question. But like I shared earlier, I think the important thing is keeping the main thing the main thing. Is understanding, what went wrong, how to correct what went wrong. Be okay. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Basketball is a game of mistakes. The more mistakes you make, obviously, um, the less impact you have on winning. But just don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, and don't be afraid to get back out there and try again. So I hope that answers your question. But I just think, learning from your mistakes and not being afraid to make mistakes, right? Not being afraid to fail, and learning why you failed and trying to improve upon that the next time you're out.
Okay. Have you ever coached someone who isn't very good at first becomes greater?
I've had a lot of players, and I've coached a wide range of different types of players, whether it be our elite players or our competitive youth players or our recreation players. I have, and I just think that the most important thing in that sense is just to be resilient, right? The development piece. I try to help them, be impactful, right? On the defensive side of the ball. I truly believe the more confidence you have, the more you play defense, it kind of fosters your confidence and makes you more assertive in that sense. So, and also building, a lot of repetition as far as your individual games. One of the things you asked me earlier was, how a young player gets better, right? Those technical skills at your age is very, very important, right? So repetition on your ball handling, repetition with your forms, passing, footwork, and all those things to kind of help build confidence to continue to help you develop and grow as a basketball player.
All right. That was yeah. What advice would you give a kids who dreams about playing in college or NBA?
Well, I would ask first of all why. Why do they want to play in the NBA and why do they want to play in college? And then whatever that answer may be, to keep that top of mind whenever you're working on developing to become that. I think the most important thing for kids is having fun where you're at, right? Ensure that you're having fun playing the sport that you're playing, but also make sure that you fall in love with the boring things, right? The mundane things, the fundamental stuff, the everyday things. If you want to continue to grow in any sport, you have to fall in love with the process that it takes to be good at that sport. So the number one advice I will give any kid that wants to play at the collegiate level, as well as move on to the NBA, you have to fall in love with the process.
Okay. All right. If you could only teach one basketball skill, what would it be?
If I can teach only one basketball skill, what would it be? That's a great question. I would say the one basketball skill I would teach would be how to be a great teammate. Because I think that's something that translates into everything in life, outside of sports as well. Being a part of something better than yourself.
I'm just going to close it. I'm just going to close this door over here.
No. No.
Hope you're going to edit this.
Yeah, man.
What's the funny thing that's during practice?
What's the funniest thing that ever happened during practice? B.
The funniest thing that ever happened during practice. I don't know. I have to think about that one. I'm not sure.
All right, we'll come back to it. Again, people, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. And we're still here talking with Coach Perry, the winner of 15U Mokan EYBL Coach of the Year. Now, Coach, you coach some of the top country best players. What separates athletes from everyone else?
I'd say as far as the great athletes?
Yeah.
From everyone else? I would say one would be mental toughness. right? Not being afraid of the big moments. Your great athletes, your great basketball players, they relish in those moments. Now they fail, right, in those moments just as well as everyone else, but they're not afraid of them, right? They welcome those moments. And I think another thing that separates them is consistently doing the work, their mundane work habits, right? Like I shared to you earlier, falling in love with the process. I think everybody wants to be great until it gets to the point to where you're doing the workouts and you're consistently doing the same thing over and over again. It's not fun, right? So those great athletes, they make that fun. And then I think the last thing is focus under pressure. Right, how they react to certain situations or certain moments throughout the course of the game. They have short memories, so they're able to move on to the next play a lot quicker. So I think those things separate your great athletes from everyone else.
Hey, also, what qualities do you look for when offering a player a bigger role on the team?
How well they handle the small role that we give them. For example, when we first met with our 15U team, before we did any practices, we had our meeting and having a pretty good idea of who they were individually because of who they what they did for their high school team. We told each and every one of them that we're going to minimize their role. Some of the things that they did with their high school team, they're not going to be able to do with us, right? It's like taking puzzle pieces, right? We're taking these small puzzle pieces and putting them together for the benefit of the whole. So we told them we're going to do that, and we did that. And as we progressed through the sessions, okay, and players, feel those roles, and they give us the trust and the confidence that they're able to do more, then we allow them to do more.
Nice, and that's a big thing is a player's accepting the role on their team. Now, how did some of the guys? You could just share maybe a few, but how did some of the guys take that when you had to break down their roles?
Some of the guys took it because they were able to see how they were able to have more success doing less, right? When you don't require them to do so much, right, that they can be star in their roles, and it actually benefits not only the team, but it benefits them individually because it allows them to be able to play within their strengths and away from their weaknesses because the other teammates may pick up where they're weak. Some players resist it, that's just evident, and they kind of balked it, but you have to be, consistent with your accountability, right? Being a part of our program, we know what success looks like at the EYBL level. And it's just a matter of, getting players to understand what that looks like and how, we're going to continue to hold you accountable for doing these things that we want you to do. And as we progress through the sessions and you show us that you can do the things that we want you to do, then your role will be expanded.
And that's perfectly dead on. Let's talk about what does basketball IQ really means, P? What do you think it means?
I think basketball IQ means it's decision making, right? It's been able to make certain decisions throughout the course of the game. How well do you read the game? How well do you study the game, right? I think one of the lost arts in today's basketball is kids don't want to go back and watch themselves, right? I think you can develop you can expand on your basketball IQ if you just go back and watch your game film, right? Not necessarily just watch you, right? Watch your opponents, watch your teammates. Right. What are your teammates doing that can impact winning and how you can help them, the next time we get out. But just, being a student of the game and being able to make those decisions within a moment's notice on the basketball court.
Man, that is great. I think decision making is one of the big things that a lot of kids are missing in life, period, as they get older as well. I think that is missed. And I think with sports geared around with what you just said, being able to make those decisions, I think that's spot on what you just said. And with that being said, parents often think more games equals more development. What is your perspective?
No, I think the value of development is in practice. I really do. And a lot of that is how you structure your practices, right? I mean, what are we doing in practice? Or are we just playing, right? Or are we breaking down drills? Are we doing, game-based drills, 2-on-2 small-sided, 3-on-3 games and putting some decision making within those drills where they're learning in a safe space, right? And then utilizing the games to reinforce what you've taught in practices. But I truly believe that the value is not in playing more and more games, because then you don't have enough time to really work on, retool, and get better at the things that you're not doing well when you're playing all these tournaments. So playing, in practice, what are you teaching in practice? How are you breaking down game film? How are you teaching kids how to study game films? How do you utilizing your sports analytics and those type of things? Plays all into that, to where you don't have to play as many games as people want to play these days, but you do more of the practices and the breakdown stuff.
Man, what do you when you hear people say, "Hey, you just rolling out the balls," and I'm saying to myself, man, I've been over there with my guy P, and we ain't doing that when we was together, just rolling out no balls. What do you say when you hear people say that?
I mean, there is some truth to that. I mean, there are some organizations that do that, right? But as far as us, I can only speak to what we do here at Mokan. It's not that. I mean, we're teaching as many aspects of basketball as we possibly can, right? Whether it be trying to develop a defensive system, an offensive system, system of communication, transition from offense and defense, everything that we see our guys do in a game. We've worked on that, right? We teach those things. And I think, one of the biggest impacts for us is seeing kids being able to gravitate from what we do to utilize it to be leaders at their high school. And then when they get to the next level, having some impact to where they're playing right away when they get to that next level. And I think because of, what we do and the teachings that we do with our system at Mokan, it allows kids the opportunity to be a freshman and be able to carve out a role for themselves right away, because they're ahead of a lot of other freshmen, because they're learning the game of basketball.
Good, man. That's a great question. And what habits do winning players consistently have? What do you think those are?
I think the habits that winning players consistently have is they're selfless, right? I think they believe in doing things that impacts winning, right? Doing things that benefits the team, working hard. But not only that, is doing things to personally develop their game outside of the time that you spend with them in your practices, right? They understand where they want to go. They have a pretty good idea of how they need to get there. And winning players consistently do the little things, right? They're not afraid to do little things. Winning players are not afraid to accept whatever role a coach gives them to have an impact on the game. I think winning players just want to win in that sense, whatever that looks like, right? Whatever coach asks them to do. Kids that are winning players are willing to do whatever's asked of them, whether it be a lot or whether it be a little.
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, when you get your guys, y'all have not too much longer to actually prepare for the EYBL season. How do you balance player development with winning games in that sort of a period of time?
Right. And that's a great question, because we don't have much time with them, and I think it's all about how we structure our practices, right? We try to integrate some skill development at the beginning of our practices, in the middle of our practices, as well as at the end of our practice. So we do a lot of team stuff, because you have to be heavy with team stuff in order to get guys to the point to where they filed into their role for you guys for us to be successful. But at the beginning of our practices, we try to implement some skill development stuff, and then in the middle, and then at the end, and always encouraging our guys after practice. We always have coaches around when practice is over with to work with guys on shooting and ball handling and things of that nature.
Man, I know that's a great answer. I know one thing: if any coach can eliminate, it's parents and the communication. But tell me, having an elite team like you did, y'all winning, how important is communication between the coach and parent?
It's very, very important. I think it's really like the lifeline of your success if you're not communicating. Because think about this, like, these parents, they watch their kids' high school games too, right? Mm-hmm. So they know what their kids are capable of at their individual high school as well. So explaining to a kid that we're going to minimize your role for the benefit of the group, and then you get out and you start playing games, and dad and mom is seeing them not doing some of the things that they saw them do for their high school. There's conversations that need to be had there as well. So just constantly communicating with the parents about what the goal is for each individual player, how, what we do and how we break down their roles impact us and ultimately will impact them as well as they progress through their basketball journey. Good,
man. That's a great answer, because I know sometimes it can be hard. Hold on, Jacob. Sometimes it can be hard. Because we always often talk about relationships, the relationship between parent and coach. Now, I'm just meeting you for the first time, and now, with the parents, the way everything is all over the spectrum of parent and coach, you can't talk to my son like this, or you can't talk to my daughter like this. I think that is one of the big pieces. When you see your team win EYBL, I think, especially for 15U, I think that's so important. Having a relationship with the parent as well as is having a relationship with the player. And so I like what you guys do, and I like what you do. With that being said, now, what advice, P, if you could, give a young coach who's trying to build a successful program? Like, what advice would you give them?
I would say develop a culture of a way that they're going to go about playing the game of basketball. I think, we talk about Mokan and all, the good teams that we've had and all the good players that we've had. But the structure of how we go about doing things and the culture is consistent. It's the same, right? How we go about teaching our defense and our offense. It's been the same for the past 20 years. Per se. So I just say, find a foundation that they believe in as far as, what system of they want to play, what type of offense they want to do, what they want to do defensively, and learn, how to teach it, right? How to get kids to buy in, but also how to get them, to do the things that right? There's a lot of guys out there that know the game of basketball, but can't teach it to a kid, right? So it's not a matter of what we know. It's how well we get the players to understand what we know, right? And do on the floor what we know. So I would say that, and I would say, that for me, the greatest equalizer is defense. Regardless of the talent that you have, you can close that gap if you get your kids to defend at a high level.
Oh, no doubt. Now, here's a session. It's called Rapid Fire. Jacob, you ready? You ready?
What's rapid fire?
You're going to ask him one word, short answers. One word,
okay.
P. Go, Jacob.
One word, okay.
One word.
Favorite basketball shoe.
I didn't hear that.
Favorite basketball shoe.
Favorite basketball shoe? Jordans.
Duh. Favorite NBA player.
Well, Isaiah Thomas don't have shoes.
Yep. So he answered that one. The favorite NBA player is Isaiah Thomas. Go to the second one. The third one.
The toughest coach you've ever competed against.
Toughest coach I've ever
competed.
Come on,
we're trying to be fast with it.
I know.
You want to skip this question?
Yeah, come back to that.
Okay. Favorite basketball movie is definitely Coach Carter.
No, it's Love and Basketball. No, it's Heaven is a Playground.
Okay. Favorite prep meal.
Favorite pregame meal.
Favorite
pregame meal. I would say Chick-fil-A.
Early bird or night owl.
Night owl.
Okay. That's one. Offense or defense?
Defense.
Greatest player of all time?
Michael Jordan.
You're definitely gonna say that. Favorite vacation spot?
Favorite vacation spot? Alberta, Canada.
Okay. Favorite hobby outside of basketball?
Favorite hobby outside of basketball? Exercising.
Okay.
All righty. Now we're gonna get into deep dive is maybe geared towards around life lessons, P. So what's one lesson basketball has taught you that applies to life?
One lesson that basketball has taught me that applies to life. I would say how to be a part of something that's greater than yourself. And my experiences, different jobs that I've had, I've worked with people who have never been a part of a team, right? So everything was about them individually, which made me reaching the goal collectively a lot harder. But those who have been a part of a team understands what it takes. So I would say being a part of a team, learn to be a part of a group.
What legacy do you hope your former players remember you for?
Holding them accountable.
If every parent watching could hear one message from you, what would it be?
I would say, regardless of what it is, find something that a kid can fall in love with. Whether it'd be football, basketball, swimming, reading, whatever it is that they love, and invest your time and resources in that.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Cause nephew, one play basketball, one swim, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's up. What does success look like beyond wins and losses?
How do you utilize that to help others? Right? How do you utilize the experiences that you've had to help impact someone else's life for the good?
Now, last one. 5 years from now, where do you hope that yourself and Mokan can be 5 years from now?
5 years from now.
That's like 2031.
I would say, honestly, 5 years from now, I would hope that we can continue to be leading the pack, continue to positively impact our youth, and hopefully having a bigger impact on the city of Kansas City.
And that is perfectly great, man. And P, I want to thank you. But before, we want to say thank you for spending time with us. And before we wrap up, where can people follow your journey, support your program, and keep up with everything you're doing?
I'd say Mokan Basketball. Reach out to us through Mokan, through our website. We've got a lot of different things going, whether it be youth camps. We got tryouts coming up. We have individual stuff for players that are wanting to work on their individual game. So we have a lot of things that can help impact kids when it comes to the game of basketball. So reach out to us, ask any questions, anything we can do to help. More than welcome to do so. And
again, thank you, my brother. Thank you, and people, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Thank you again, my brother. Again, this is Coach Mooch.
Yeah, boy, K.A. Jacob Williams.
Thank you, Coach Perry, and we enjoyed your time. Thanks, brother.
Thanks for having me on. Love you guys.
Yeah, love you too, brother.